Hey guys, this is Patrick with SparkTennis.com here just for a real quick little chat with you guys. One of the issues that I see a lot that comes up while people are having a great time playing tennis, there comes a time in a drill or in a match or just in a hit around session where somebody really gets teed off, really gets upset, and changes the whole mood and the whole energy of the court, right? Or even the courts around you. So the topic of today is really a question, and it's something for you guys maybe to consider, is how easily do we get offended? Right? That's a personal question. How easily do I get offended? Right? And let's think about that for a second. So we're talking about offended. When I see this happen on the tennis courts, when somebody really gets offended, really feels like they got their feelings hurt, what do? They generally get mad. They generally get, very vocal about being upset. But most importantly, and maybe why you guys should care about this topic at all, is I see them get very off. They get very off in terms of their game. They no longer play very well. It's almost as if they get weakened. The next shot they hit is usually a very bad shot, right? Mechanically unsound or whatever, which is very interesting because I know that we don't want that result, right? None of us would say, yeah, I sign up to hit a really bad forehand or a really bad volley, really bad overhead on my next ball. But it's that anger and that aggression from being offended that I feel, weakens you. So the question is, how easily do you get offended? And of course, the goal, at least at Spark Tennis, with of course the mission of love all, first serve, is to be centered, right? Don't be so easily offended. Don't give other people the authority to change your mood, to make you upset, to make you mad. And the other side of this, which most people probably would never talk about, is how easily do you get flattered, right? When someone gives you an awesome compliment or tells you, you're the GOAT, the greatest of all time or something. How easily does that flatter you? How far does it take you, right? I mean, if we consider, this line to be centered, to be a very balanced you, right? You're just basically in harmony with yourself. Being offended, you could say, sends you really low, right? So here's the offended side. Or being flattered, you might be way up here, right? Where this is, being flattered. But both of those send you off center. They send you out of balance. Now, it's great to compliment each other. I mean, I do it all the time. Almost kind of can't even help myself whenever I see great tennis or a great shot. I don't know. I make note of it and I tell people. I don't ever tell people when they do something bad, by the way, and I don't ever say, "Wow, that was really messed up. That was the worst forehand I've ever seen." Right? Just that's not a natural response, but giving someone a compliment is. But I would suggest, guys, if you want to play good tennis, if you want to have a steady game and maintain the level of fun that you can have in the sport, try to stay here. Try to stay right here on the center if you can, right? And maybe lower the peaks and valleys, You can feel awesome when you hit a great shot. That's great. Now let's get back to center, right? Somebody makes a bad line call and you just know, oh my gosh, that ball was a foot inside the line. And, you just called it out. Are you kidding, right? Keep this as low as possible, right? In terms of the overall amplitude of being offended. Don't get down here, right? That's bad. There's no benefit to you of getting that offended or that mad or whatever you want to call it, right? So, let's stay centered. Let's not get off by being offended. And a couple of ways that I would just suggest of how you could do that, right? Because you're like, well, Patrick, okay, it sounds good, but come on, man. I'm a mere mortal. What do you expect out of me, man? Some people, really get under my skin or what have you. And I completely understand, right? It's something that you can work on over time. Just kind of committing to yourself that you're going to try to remain centered. And I wrote down a couple of things that I'll share with you. I think the first thing that you can do, whether somebody makes a bad line call or hits an overhead right at your chest, or whatever, the first thing that you can do is send forgiveness to them, right? Just forgive them for whatever they did. Just it doesn't really even matter because it's in the past. It just happened. It is a fact at this point. Nothing can really change the facts. It happened. So forgive them. Something that I find personally very useful is to go into a state of gratitude, right? Because after all, you are out playing tennis or doing whatever you're doing, whatever sport or activity you're doing. I mean, you could be driving on the freeway and somebody cut you off in traffic. You could get offended. Or you could choose to remain centered. You could choose to forgive them for doing that. Who knows? It could have been an accident or it could have been on purpose. Really, it doesn't even matter, right? Because in the end, all you can control is yourself. So you choose whether or not you get offended, right? Or you can choose to remain centered. You can choose to remain in a state of peace, right? And have the best outcome for yourself. You can't control other people. We know that, unless you want to exert great amounts of force, which is not good anyway. The other thing is, just slow down, like calm down, take a few deep breaths, right? And get into that state of gratitude where you're at least happy that, first of all, you're happy that you're here. You're happy that you're alive. You're happy that you have opportunities. At least, here where we are, right? We live in a free country. We have clean drinking water. There's a lot of stuff that there's, to be thankful for. So, but anyway, all of that type of thing, choosing peace, being in a state of gratitude, and forgiving other people helps you, get back here to center, right? Where you're going to play your best tennis. You're going to have, probably the best friendships and relationships in your life. So anyway, guys, I care about you all, and I want the best for you. I know this is a very, very common problem as people go through the different, stages of competition, different states of ego, and it's something I've personally dealt with a lot throughout my life, and something that we just have to work on, and we get better at it each day, right? Just like working out a muscle, it'll get stronger, right? Just keep working on it, and you'll find that it's really hard to knock you down below a certain level, and it's also really hard to get you above a certain level in terms of being flattered, right? And that's really cool. So anyway, that's it for me, guys. Let's stay centered. Let's not get off, and ask yourself, how easily do I get offended? And let me know. Let me know what you think. All right, guys. Good chat. Cheers. Bye-bye.